Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel. My name is Sarah from Sarah's Tarot, which this is actually my first video, so if you're here, you found me. Congratulations. I am also Sarah's Tarot on Instagram, which some of you may already follow me because I probably will post this video on my story. Like I said, this is my first video, so bear with me. I will get my bearings eventually. Fair warning, my camera is not stable because I do not have a camera stand or a phone stand yet. And it's currently in the mail, and I am using an oracle deck to hold my phone in place, which I think is pretty funny. Like I said, my name is Sarah. I'm an intuitive empath tarot reader. I've been reading tarot cards for almost 4 years. I started about like April 12th, I think, 2020. April 12th, 2020, I bought my first tarot deck to help me cope with COVID because I was a high school student at the time and I was freaking out. But that's a whole other story. So, anyway, I've been reading tarot for almost 4 years. I have almost 100 tarot decks and I think like 35 oracle decks. I don't know. I have my tarot decks listed in a spreadsheet, but my oracle decks, I think I'm missing one or two. And I'm going to be honest, I'm not as OCD about that. I do have OCD. I'm not as OCD about my oracle decks list as my tarot deck list. That one has to be in order and is in order. So today's video, I'm going to be doing the top 10 indie deck tarot challenge, I guess. Originally I have 46 indie decks, which is a lot. I think it's a good amount. I love all of my decks. I wouldn't trade them for anything, except for one. There's only one deck that I backed on Kickstarter. I won't go into the whole thing, but excuse me, I have a sore throat a little bit. I backed it on Kickstarter and it was a fantastic idea, and the deck came and it was like a legit thing, but the creator did not plan the deck properly and the cardstock was too thick, so I kid you not, the deck was probably like this thick and impossible to shuffle, and it didn't fit in the box that it came with it. So I was a little annoyed about that. So I think that is most of the information I wanted to share. So I'm going to set up and get ready to show you my top 10 indie decks of my collection. Okay, as I said, these are my top 10 indie decks of my collection. I have 46, so again, this was a little challenging. I had a few that I really wanted to include, but could not. They will be featured in a later video because I plan on doing a whole bunch of deck collection videos. That's what I should have talked about. I have been always obsessed with deck collection videos, and I've always wanted to make them, but I never had all my decks in one place because I'm a student, so some were at my house with my parents and some were with me. But I finally live in an apartment where I have my own room, and the first thing I did was bring all of my tarot decks to school with me because they're that important and I want them all near me all the time. So I've been watching a lot of deck collection videos recently, and I don't know, I run out of them to watch and I want to make my own, and then I can watch more deck collection videos because I'll have mine to watch, and I guess that would be pretty cool also. Yeah, I love deck collection videos, like I just explained for a minute and a half. Alright. So these are my top 10 indie decks. They are not ranked in order, except the first one out of the 10. I would definitely save first if it were in danger. and that is the Alpaca Tarot by, I do not know how to pronounce this name, so I'm just going to show it in the video for a few seconds. But this deck is absolutely adorable. They have an Instagram account that they post on constantly, and it's basically just alpaca serotonin. They just post videos of alpacas all the time. So here's the guidebook. It just goes in color order: majors, wands, cups, swords, and pentacles. I don't think there were any spreads at the end. No, just acknowledgements. It comes with a little top card. Another disclaimer, most of my decks, all of the ones in this video, are in order, and I'm not going to go through all the cards. So if there is a specific card you want to see from any of the decks, let me know, and I will find a way to send it to you. Just let me know in the comments below, because I know that for some decks, if I want to get them, I have to have certain cards that I enjoy or I don't connect with the deck, and that is probably something I'll talk about in another video, but that's just a little personal thing. So we have the Fool. These are the backs. They're adorable. Every card just has an alpaca on it, which, what could go wrong with alpacas? I mean, adorable. Let's see, I'm not going to show them all. What else can I say? This deck is just pure happiness. I get very positive readings with it. Sorry, I got a notification and I thought it stopped recording. I get very positive readings with it. It's very uplifting. Even if there's something it needs to tell you, like, it'll tell you in the nicest way possible. It's definitely a comfort deck. I love the Queen of Cups in all decks. It's probably my favorite court card. And then my favorite card in this deck, I know I'm going through it a little quickly, is the Ten of Pentacles, because first of all, the alpaca has a beard. Come on, will you focus? No, you won't. Okay, you're just going crazy. All right, so the alpaca has a beard, and there are dogs. The alpaca has dogs. I love dogs. I think that is just the cutest thing ever. Yeah. What else about this deck? I think that's really it. It comes in a, you know what, I don't remember what kind of box it came in. I think it was a magnetic clasp box, but I have all of my decks just displayed out in front of me, so you actually can go. Actually, no, I didn't need you. All right, the second deck in my indie deck collection video is, these are the backs. Most people don't actually know this deck, and I'm surprised because it's absolutely stunning. But this is the Lily White Tarot by Celia Millsville. She's a French artist. She's the creator of the Boo Tarot and the the Little Ghosts Oracle, of which I have both. And she also has a Le Renard Tarot deck, which is a Fox Tarot deck. And I am so excited. I can't wait to get that one. And another oracle that I forget the name of, but I was looking at yesterday, and it was absolutely stunning. So it comes with 3 information cards. What I love about this deck is that it is in French and in English. And I am not French, but I took French for 7 years, and then I took it again in college a few semesters ago, or last semester, I don't know, one of the two. And I don't know, I like expanding my French knowledge. But look at these cards. They're all watercolor. They're absolutely beautiful. I wish I could go through this entire deck. I should do deck walkthroughs also, because some of my decks are just absolutely beautiful, and people aren't familiar with them because they're either indie decks or They're not from creators of their origin, maybe. So, like, look at the Six of Wands. I like the fire. Foxes. Cups are mostly blue, which makes sense. Three of Cups. Seven of Cups. What else can I say about this deck? I have not used it a ton. Having a lot of decks, I will admit, when I first started reading, I went absolutely crazy and bought like 20 decks because I am a collector of things. I like art. I don't know. I feel like this is a harmless hobby. Not hobby, like collecting, not reading tarot. I feel like collecting tarot decks is relatively harmless because it's my money. I can spend it how I want, on what I want. I don't know. That's just how I see it. And they make me happy. And as someone who is neurodivergent and has a lot of mental health issues, not a lot, but a solid amount, I don't know, it just makes me happy. And I love art, like I said. So that is the Lily White Tarot, and a little bit of, not trauma dumping, but a little bit more information about me. Alright. Oh, and I should have mentioned, the Alpaca Tarot deck and the Lily White Tarot deck are both available and in print. The next deck that I have is out of print, from what I understand. It was a Kickstarter that I backed in 2020, and oh my gosh, this deck is so pretty. And the artist, what is her name? Here, I'll just bring the deck over first. This is the Cosmic Visions Tarot deck. Oh, this deck is not in order because I was using it. But these are the backs. The thing about this deck, or about the artist, Jessica Shackleton, I believe, is an Australian artist, and I wasn't on my Instagram account for a while, so when I came back, I was looking at all of the people who I followed from years ago, and I came across her account, and she has become a tattoo artist, and I think that that is so cool, because I am covered in tattoos. You can see I have this one. I'm not gonna, well, I can show my arm. I'm an Aquarius. I have the Aquarius sign. I have a little alligator. I have spaceship, goose, ghosts. I have a lot of tattoos, but that's besides the point. Oh, I should post a picture of my leg tattoo. I have an astronaut holding the planets as balloons, and I drew most of it. Anyway, this deck was from 2020. These are the backs. They're edged in black. If you have the Star Seeker Tarot deck, which, spoiler alert, that will be coming up later in the video, it kind of feels like that edging. I don't remember what it's called. It's not like gilded edging. It's more like rubbery, I guess. I don't know. But the Kickstarter either had the option of having white borders or black borders, and I think there was a second edition of the deck printed in like 2021 or 2022 maybe, or maybe it's still in progress. Excuse me. But Jessica Shackleton, is only using the black backgrounds now. So this deck is like completely out of print, first edition, Kickstarter backed. And fair warning, there is a lot of nudity. But this deck is black and white and then just has rainbow accents, which I think, look at this Fool card. Like, this is absolutely beautiful, and this deck makes me so happy. And it's funny because it's called the Cosmic Visions Tarot, and at the same time the Cosmovisions Oracle was coming out by James R. Eads, which I have most of his decks too, which is a whole other thing, and more videos will be shown about his collection, I'm sure. but this deck, this is an extra card that was in the deck, the Divine, which I think this was the sticker that came with the Kickstarter also. It's on one of my water bottles, I believe, still from 4 years ago. Magician, you can see the elemental symbols. Very powerful 10 of Swords. Excuse me, 1 second. Yeah, okay. Sorry, I definitely have some kind of cold or something, and I apologize because I wouldn't want to listen to someone who's like sick talking, probably, but I wanted to make one video at least because I'm going to France and then I'll be away from all of my decks for like 2 weeks, and I wanted to post something to see how it kind of worked so I can like tweak it as I go through the next few weeks. But anyway, very cool 6 of Cups, literal inner child. Let's see, I'm trying to think of any card in particular that I would want to show. It's a pretty cool Tower card. Good 7 of Pentacles. I just love the rainbow accents in the deck. I think she's a fantastic and very talented artist. I will try and link her Etsy shop below. I know she sells like stickers and stuff. She is doing custom tattoos in Australia, so if you live in Australia, you could look at that. I don't know where in Australia. I know it's a pretty big continent, but country. I am a little high right now, I'm not gonna lie. Australia, whatever, you know what I mean. That's gonna be embarrassing. Now I'm self-conscious about it. I promise I'm smart. My mind goes elsewhere. There are 7 continents. Yeah, okay, we're good. I was right. Okay, look at that Sun card. Moving on. Look at that Sun card. Beautiful. And of course the last card is the World because, you know, it just works out like that. So yeah. And then again, these are the backs. Everything was hand drawn, which I think is absolutely spectacular. This deck is out of print again, I'm sorry, but I'm sure if you look it up you could find it somewhere, and she might be doing another print of it, but I don't think her website has been updated in a while, so who knows. All right, the next deck that I have is the 3rd tarot deck that I ever got, and it is a little beat up because my friend spilled, I think, alcohol on it. I was trying to see if it still smells like it, but he spilled it on it and he felt really bad, but it's okay because I spilled on my favorite tarot deck and it hated me for a while, and that's a whole other story. But now the deck and I have a very strong connection, and it's the one I use every day. So this deck, my 3rd deck, is the Sastre Beato Tarot by Stasia Burrington. I always pronounced it Stasia, and I don't know why, but it's Stasia. This is the 5th edition, I believe. 6th edition, sorry. I couldn't remember which one. So 2019. My gosh. That makes a little bit of sense. No, COVID was 2020. I don't know why I got confused. I don't know. I have the 6th edition. So these are the backs. They have gold gilded edging. You can see mine is totally beat up because it was spilled on and from use. This deck used to be a little bit thinner. It doesn't fit in the box anymore. Like, the box doesn't fit comfortably over it, but that's okay. Oh no, one of my incense went out. I can't have incense on my actual altar because it's too close to my smoke alarm, so I have to keep them by my window but one of them went out. Oh well. So we have, I don't know why I keep putting the deck down. I'm gonna hold it. Fool, the Magician. I love the art style of this deck because it's very like, I don't know, the faces remind me of when I went to take classes at the Fashion Institute of Technology in New York City, and we would have to draw figure faces because I wanted to be a fashion designer. So the faces kind of remind me of that, especially like this. I also love this World card. Ace of Wands, 3 of Wands, 2 of Wands, 4 of Wands. This deck, because it was one that I got so early, is one that when I have trouble thinking of card meanings or possible other perspectives of card meanings, this is the one that I think back to, because the guidebook has a lot of like personal stories and experiences that she decided to share. And when I get to it in 3 cards, the 8 of Cups, almost skipped it. The 8 of Cups is the story that stands out to me. And if you have the deck, then maybe you've read this already. But she explains how whenever she felt like she needed a change, she would cut her hair, and that would like mark the new journey or whatever that she was going on, or something like that. Let's see if I can pull it up really quickly. I find that in the past, in times of stress, I cut my hair. I feel like I'm actually disposing of the past, the extra weight, the dry ends, the old me. So I think that is very powerful, and that always stands out to me. I like this Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords is one of my favorite cards, and also my stalker card all the time, and just pops out in all of my decks that I use for the most part. Eventually I'm going to do an entire tarot deck collection video. I just wanted to try a shorter one first to see how everything plays out. This card used to confuse the crap out of me because I did not realize that she was bending that way. So one guy is doing like the downward dog position, and then she is like stretched behind, and then there's a dog on top. So this is, I don't know, this card used to confuse me, but I love it now. I like this Queen of Pentacles. This King of Pentacles, I get it. I feel like with the Queen looking like this, it should be someone with a face, but at the same time, I understand this meaning, and I think that it suits the deck better. So I understand where she's coming from. The guidebook has a methods section. Oh my gosh, there are people screaming outside my window. Hopefully you can't hear that, but you probably can. It shares how to start with the deck. So making space for the deck, shuffling the deck, setting intentions, cutting, reading, 3-card spread, and then it starts with the explanations. So that was the 4th deck, the Sasori Beto Tarot. All right, so the 5th deck, so after this we're halfway done. Woohoo! Well, maybe, you don't know that. The 5th deck that I have for you guys today is the Spacious Tarot by Carrie Mallon and Annie Ruygd, probably not Ruygd. It's R-U-Y-G-T, and I'm not sure how to pronounce the Y-G-T part. But let's take a look at the guidebook first, because I remember this one is fairly special. Maybe not fairly special, but it had a lot of meaning. Like, reading the guidebook was important, because it talks about tarot and bonding with your deck, components of the deck. Then it goes into the different parts of the deck. It's a good beginner deck because it explains so much, like understanding the major arcana. it goes into detail about the rows. So the Fool is not necessarily included, but it goes the Fool, and then 1 through 7, and then 8 through 14, and then 15 through 21. So it talks about that, understanding the minor arcana and the numbered cards. Does it go into numerology? Yep, it has numerology in it. And then it goes into the majors. Oh, it has spreads also. And a note on gender. There are no people in this deck. And they use gender neutral titles for the core cards, which I respect and appreciate a lot. And that probably sounds like everybody would say that, but I do appreciate it because it kind of adds another layer to the deck. Yeah, and you'll see when I go through it. So anyway, majors, pentacles, swords, wands, cups. I was watching a video the other day, and I forget who it was, but they were talking about how it should go, how like the correct order is the major arcana, wands, cups, swords, pentacles, which is what I agree with. And that's how all my decks are organized. But I mean, to each their own. Anyway, this deck is called the Spacious Tarot because it is quite literally spacious. Look at the Fool. There are a lot of cards representing like vast areas. I know that sounds very general, but like that last card, sand and the ocean, a field, more fields, you know what I mean. It's an interesting lover's card. It looks like DNA a little bit, and I'm studying to be a forensic serologist, which is basically genetics. So I love that card. A tower. I like this tower because it's a rock pile. It reminds me of when I would go hiking at sleepaway camp. You have the sun, judgment, the world. A lot of the decks I have, I feel like are pip decks, but they're not pip decks like necessarily. Like this deck, I don't know if it would be considered a pip deck because it has like the number of each symbol or suit on it, but it's fully illustrated. Anyway, if you know the answer to that or have an opinion, let me know. 6 of Cups, 10 of Cups, I like this one. Oh, here, let me go through the core cards. So it goes Child, Explorer, Guardian, Elder. So that would be in place of Page, Knight, Queen, King. Another Ace of Swords that I love. There's one deck. No, it's not this one. I think it's my Shadowscapes deck, which is my favorite deck. No offense to every other deck that is sitting in front of me, but that's the one I have the strongest connection to. That 8 of Swords is a little scary. There's another one. Oh, I'm not gonna remember, but it's a bunny and a knife being pointed at a bunny. Was it not this deck? That's so weird. I'm gonna have to go through and figure that out. No, it had to be this deck. Hold up. Yeah, it is this deck. Yep. I don't know. It's so sad. I don't want the bunny to get hurt. But anyway, here are the backs. And then this deck actually also, they came out with an expansion. The same 2 artists. I believe that they're like best friends or something. Card meanings, zodiac signs, element meanings, spreads, all the goods. So it has the element cards. I put them in order of zodiac, I guess. And then I put them in order of zodiac. Ooh, Aquarius. And then there are a few other cards: Connection, Curiosity, Offering, Spaciousness, and Transcendence. And the backs are the same, so I can just stick it on there. I can put this on top. And then this deck, I already mentioned earlier in the video, if you caught it. What are we on? 6? Yes. The 6th deck in this video is the Star Seeker Tarot, which I got for Hanukkah in 2022. I was like, Mom, please. She was like, okay, fine. Because look, this is like the Cosmic Visions, like the rubbery. I know it's not rubber. It just feels like kind of rubbery, but they're so nice. This deck is kind of like the Spacious Tarot to me, except with people. It has that same like freedom, like airy, free vibe, in my opinion. I don't know, the art, we'll go through it in a minute. I love this guidebook because the key is on the front, the lock is on the back. They have how to use the deck, they have tarot spreads, they go into the major and minor arcana, they have tarot exercises. Ooh, let's look at that really quickly. Oops. Here are a few fun things. They have a meditation. Sorry. Asking for guidance, tarot story exercise. I love the idea of using tarot to like write something, to write a story. That would be so cool. Intuitive exercise. Journey into the tarot cards. A nice little guidebook of information. These are the backs. I love them. Again, I'm sorry about the camera. I will have a camera stand soon, but I'm going to France tomorrow and the package is getting here on Monday. Today is Saturday. I leave Sunday and I'm not coming back until the 26th. So it'll be a while. Anyway, Fool. This card, this deck obviously has people. The Emperor and the Empress. I like that they're both sitting in the field. This is where it's sloping down and like he's sitting up there. I like the cloak. Lovers. Death. Tower. Star. 3 of Wands. It's a little dark. Some of the cards are a little dark. It's not difficult to see. It might be a little difficult to see through the camera because I have an iPhone and I don't know, it's okay. Not to be mean to Apple, but I'm not skilled with the camera techniques, so whatever. Ace of Cups. I love this 3 of Cups. They all look so happy. These cards are a little dark. I think the cards that are more like reflective and sad are darker, and the cards that are like more upbeat and happy are brighter. That would make sense, and I'm making that I'm making that comment as I go. This deck has a lot of diversity. Very pretty Queen of Cups. This Ace of Swords is pretty cool. It's a little difficult to see against this gray, but it's nice. The 8 of Swords was a card that followed me for a while, and I wish that it followed me at the time when I had this deck, because I was using a different deck, because this one is pretty powerful in my opinion. And yeah, let's see what else. I don't know. I like the art style of this deck. I know I said that for like every deck so far, but there's just something about the color palette and the diversity and like the light airiness, like the free feeling. Like there's so much out there to explore, so much space. I don't know. All right, so the next deck on a completely different level, I don't think a lot of people know about this deck. Like I said, I'm in college and I just watch cartoons all the time, and I did as a child also. So these, if you can't guess from the backs, this is the second edition, but this, look at this beautiful silver edging. This is just a card. I guess they're sponsored by Biddy Tarot or have some kind of connection. Whatever. I used Labyrinthos and I love them a little bit more. But anyway, this is the Gravity Falls Mystery Tarot deck. And if you love Gravity Falls, I recommend getting it because it is just so cute and happy. And the artwork is just so nostalgic to me because, oh, well, who was I watching Gravity Falls with? I think my friend Ruby. Were we watching? Yeah, I think that's what we were watching. And I don't know, or it was my sister. But we love Gravity Falls. We love Gravity Falls. Yesterday I was on the phone with my sister and she was like, we were talking about tarot decks because I force my likes onto her. Not really, but I talk about it a lot and she tells me things she wants to talk about. Fair enough trade. So she was like, show me a tarot deck that has a pig in it. And I picked this deck because I knew that Waddles was in it. And this card is just now forever going to remind me of my sister. This deck, I guess also question of if it's a pip deck. It has a lot of references to the episodes, which I like, besides just having like artwork. This deck did not come with a guidebook. Like the card said, any Rider-Waite guide will assist you. But I mean, this deck is just a lot of fun and very nostalgic, like I said. Like this Six of Cups, if you've seen the show, like, this is so sweet. A little sad, but that's so sweet. Oh my goodness. I keep getting the 10 of Cups when I do readings, and that's a whole other story, but it's a good sign. Axes represent swords. It is a pretty powerful deck for being based on a cartoon. The creator, oh, I don't have the box on me. I don't remember who made it. I'm sure I'll put it down below. I'm gonna try and be a good content creator and do timestamps and all that. And if not, I will list all the decks and where you can find them. But that is it was Quarter Press that made them. But yeah, that is the mystery deck. Okay, moving right along. The next deck is from Tarot Collectibles, which is an indie deck. I just, like, to me, I was like, is it indie or is it mass market? Because some decks are larger than others, but that doesn't mean that they're mass market. So I always go back and forth with myself. But this is an indie deck. Excuse me. A lot of people don't have this deck either. Tarot Collectibles decks, I will say, are a little pricey. This one, I think, was $80. I mean, for a good deck, it's not bad. But their decks range from like $75 to $100. And I have 2 of them. I almost included the other one, the Blacklight Tarot, but I didn't have enough space. Anyway, this is the Groovy Rider-Waite Tarot Stars Edition. And I don't know if my camera will pick up the star effect. I think it does a little bit more if I go that way. Yeah, anyway, I came with 2 full cards. But this is a Rider-Waite based deck for sure. It's just the colors are more groovy. I don't know if there are multiple cards for different cards. I know in the Blacklight Tarot there are a few cards that there are 2, like the 3 of Cups, or the 2 of Cups has 2 or 3 cards, but I don't know. Oh, there you can see the stars. It's a cool Lovers card. This deck is just so trippy and so cool. I love tarot collectibles. I want their Psychedelic Space Tarot. And I also want their winter one. I am not one who celebrates Christmas, but even though that deck is mostly like Christmas based, I would do anything for it. Not anything, but I would do a lot for it. That comes with an extra card. Ace of Wands. Super duper trippy. Spacey. I will say a lot of their decks have like the same general structure, I think. Like the Psychedelic Space one would probably have like planets like this also. I don't have a problem with that. I think this deck is gorgeous. Oh, then it's the 2 of Cups in the other deck. Also, were there 2 in here? No. In the Blacklight Tarot, there were 2 of Cups, because I remember it saying make love, not war. Yeah. I'm sorry if I'm getting quiet. I'm trying to think of things to say. This is pretty cool. This looks like it would be a cool tattoo. It's a very trippy 4 of Swords. 8 of Swords. Sorry, deck. 10 of Swords. That's interesting. Yeah, very Rider-Waite Smith based. Quite literally. Rider-Waite deck. Alright. Again, I know I'm going kind of quickly through these, so if there are any decks that you see that you enjoy and want to see more pictures of, you can always message me on Instagram. My account is Sarahs_tarot. I have almost 2,100 followers, so if you see one with less, it is not me. I know people like to fake accounts, and that has happened multiple times. Whatever. Not whatever, it's horrible. It's annoying. Anyway, the next deck, which is deck number, I don't even know, is it 8? Yes, it is 8. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're on deck number 9. I have them in order on my bed, and I just got so confused. Number 9 is the Luminous Spirit Tarot deck by Labyrinthos. I mentioned them earlier because that's the app that I used when I was learning tarot. They have this nice little fold-out booklet that has the upright and reversed meanings. They have a few tarot spreads, full moon, basic. Oh my gosh, you guys should see the binder that I made. I guess it's technically a Book of Shadows because it's just a bunch of tarot spreads that I use, but it's in a binder and there are like over 100 of them. It's crazy. Like more than 100, but whatever. These are the backs. I love the backs because they're so shiny and they're pretty. And it's pretty good cardstock. I haven't talked about the cardstock on any of the decks. All of them have really good cardstock, except right now my Sasori Beto Tarot deck, because of how beat up it is. Sorry, I'm looking at my bed, which is over there. And the next one has okay cardstock. But other than that, they're all pretty easy to shuffle. Anyway, this is the Luminous Spirit Tarot deck. It's all black or like gray drawn, not black, it's all drawn, it looks like. Simplistic, white background, also nudity. I have a lot of decks with nudity. I feel like a lot of tarot decks have nudity, and that's not a problem. I'm just thinking about it, and it just seems like more than I realized. Or at least in my collection. It's a pretty cool death card. And devil card. Oh, if I could get 1,000,000 tattoos, I would get so many tarot cards tattooed on me. So many designs. Like, Stasia Burrington, her Oracle deck, the Empty Cup Oracle, there's one card in there that's like flowers, and it's beautiful, and I wanted to get it tattooed so badly, and I did not. But that's okay. I'll get it eventually, maybe. This deck is pretty good. The app lets you choose which deck you want to work with, and I didn't realize that. So I was working with the default deck that they have on the app, and then I realized you could change it, and I was like, I need to buy this deck, and then I can use the app also. And it'll work together, and it does, and I love it. Ace of Swords, always. I like, oh. See, like, that is so powerful to me. I don't know, the Eight of Swords in all decks. I guess this is kind of a pip deck. But, Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, so that is the Luminous Spirit Tarot deck. Now, my last tarot deck. I know I already went on this spiel with the Gravity Falls deck, but I'm a college student and I like watching cartoons, and I did not mean to bring the deck into the camera that early, but I went like that with both hands. Anyway, the 10th deck is the Simpsons tarot deck, because the Simpsons are my favorite comedy animated family. I love watching the Simpsons. My boyfriend makes fun of me because that's all I want to watch, and he wants to watch anime, and I'm like, no, we should watch the Simpsons. This deck, I'm not sure what other language it's in. It might be Russian. I really don't know, and I apologize if it's not, because I'm not sure. But anyway, it just goes through the major arcana: Wands, Cups, Swords, Pentacles. It does not have reverse meanings. It's a quick, cute little guidebook, quick little explanations for quick readings. Okay, the cards though are so funny. They're not edged in anything. These are the backs. I should edge this deck actually. Maybe I'll do it in pink, like the donut color pink. They have Maggie on them. They're so cute. I love the Fool card because Homer's wearing a wedding dress. And then everything else is just super funny. Some of them are episode references, and some of them are probably references I just don't remember. But they're all just so, so good. I know I skipped some. I'm sorry. Like, I don't know. Some of these are just, they remind me of the episodes. Treehouse of Horror, Card Blank. I honestly don't remember these. They have the Witch, and they have card blanks. Interesting. Wands. Ooter. Oh my god, Ooter. What are you? You fill out from there. Cat Lady. I watched an episode that I think that relates to the other day, which is funny. I love that episode. And that episode, oh my gosh. Maybe I should do a reading with you guys. You guys just keep jumping out. Vendetta. That's what Sideshow Bob's child says all the time. I remember this episode. Yeah, it's a good deck. It's a fun little deck. I would only save it because I love The Simpsons. I honestly don't do that many readings with it. So, that was deck number 10. And I just fell over my chair, but that's okay. Anyway, like I said, who knew if I'd be done after 10? I have one deck that I struggled so much with putting it in the video or not. So it gets an honorary mention. And that is, these are the backs. They look familiar. It's because you probably know her Oracle decks. It is the, oh my god, why am I blanking? Rain Shadow Tarot by, oh my goodness, I just started blanking again. Claire Mack. And I love her cards. I have both of her Oracle decks on my altar right there, actually. It's a pretty full guidebook. Goes over how to read the cards, introduction. It's not in color, but it shows each card. I don't think there's anything in the back. I have not had a proper chance to work with this deck yet, so it's a little like, I wanted to include it, but I don't know enough about it. But I mean, just look at the mushrooms. They're just so, these cards are just so pretty, and they have a lot of deep rooted meaning, because I mean, her other decks are the Faceted Garden and the Illuminated Earth Oracle, not in that order, reverse them, but I don't know, she just has a very earthy feel, like Selkie, I think that's what they're called. I only know that from Disenchantment. Again, cartoons. Yeah, very cool deck. Very cool world card. I don't know if it's technically a collage deck. I think it is. It looks kind of collage-y. I think it's so pretty though. Look at that. Offering and success. Yeah, so this deck definitely gets an honorable mention. This Two of Cups is so cute. I like the thick black outline. I like the lightning bolt in this one. 4 of Swords, 6 of Swords. 8 of Swords is interesting, because apparently I am in love with the 8 of Swords, which is not great. But that's okay. Yeah. So that is the Rain Shadow Tarot by Claire Mack. Alright, if you made it this far, I appreciate it. I have concluded my list of my top 10 indie decks that I would keep. Yeah, that was a little difficult. I don't know how long this video is. I think it's under an hour, which is good. Which means I can get another one in before I have to start studying, because I have a final tomorrow at 8 a.m. Yeah, so if you enjoyed and want to see more videos, please subscribe. I don't expect anyone to like or comment, because, I don't know, I'm pessimistic in that aspect, I guess. But feel free to, because I will respond to anything once I figure out how to. And yeah, until next time. Again, if you want to see more of my content, you can go follow me at Sarah's Tarot on Instagram. All right, bye guys.